Good morning, world. My name is Savana and I'm a yoga instructor here in Greenville, Ohio, with Om Your Day. And today I'm going live on Savannah on the Spot. Trent had some meetings that he had to attend this morning and wasn't able to co host. And so I am putting myself on the spot this morning. And so it should be fun. So I thought what a good question for me to answer for everyone is why am I so passionate about yoga and what got me really into yoga because that really fuels my approach with my clients and how I want to show up in my studio. So years ago, I had a friend. I had done yoga before at Sinclair Community College. I always um, tried to add an exercise class into my schedule when I was going there for schooling, and so I was interested in doing yoga for exercise to stay fit. And then when I moved here to Greenville, developed a friendship with someone who's still one of my closest friends, and she invited me to a yoga class. And again, I was like, "Oh, this is a great opportunity to stay in shape." I've done yoga before, and I enjoyed it. And it wasn't until then I didn't really. I mean, I had some like glimpses of this when I was at Sinclair, but it wasn't until I was here in Greenville, going to public classes, that I realized how how much of a value yoga was in my life. And what happened, I like to think of like an etch a sketch. Does anybody remember etch a sketches? Do people even play with these anymore? I don't know. They're cool. They shouldn't go out of style, but I like to think of it as an etch a sketch. You draw on it, and then when you're done, you shake it and it clears it out. And I remember one time in particular walking out of uh, of a public yoga class and being like, "That's what just happened to my mind." Like my mind was an etch a sketch with all these like squiggly lines and drawings and plans and whatnot. And I had taken this yoga class and I walked out and I just felt like I was flying high, walking on air. Um, just felt really, really beautiful and like my best self. And my mind had felt like an etch a sketch that had been cleared. And I think it was the first time that I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I can create space in my mind and not always have the drawing board out with plans and things. And so that's how I really started to fall in love with yoga, because of the way it made me feel. Um, and then I just, kept doing it for myself, and then decided to explore what it would be like to become a yoga teacher. And yeah, I don't know. So that's why I'm really passionate about it. Another reason why I'm also very passionate about it is because in years past, I really, really struggled with depression. It was kind of a theme all throughout my life, like throughout my childhood, um, throughout my adulthood. It was a story that I like to say that a lot, a story that I told myself. I'm Savannah Shaltry and I'm a depressed person, these things happened to me, and it was very, I would play the victim mode. Mentality a lot in my past, and yoga has really um, empowered me to change that story. Um, and we always want things to happen fast, right? Like we're such a instant gratification consumer society, and we want a quick fix to the things that show up in our life that we tend to struggle with. And it took me years and years of practicing yoga, learning more about yoga, and slowly implementing it for myself to change that story. And honestly, if I hadn't practiced yoga, if I hadn't had the gift of yoga, I don't know where I would be today, honestly. Um, and that's what I want for other people. Like, that's what I want for my clients. I want um, them to be able to own their day. That's why I named my business Ohm, Ohm Your Day. I want to help people start to take ownership of their day and their life and be able to change their story and change the trajectory of their life if they're willing and ready to do so. I, Early on in this year, I had something very, very big happen in my life. And in the past, I was always trying to grow and learn new things, learn new ways about myself, and constantly improve my life. But I wasn't really fully implementing the things. And I think this is very common, for us humans to do, is like we read something, but then we don't, we kind of get like a quick fix in reading it, but then we don't implement it and we fall back into old habits and patterns. And then we're like, what the heck? I read it. It should, like, things should be changing. And, I wasn't really implementing all the things that I was learning. And it wasn't until this like huge change in my life happened that I was literally forced with no other option than to pick up my own reins. And which was a blessing, is a blessing, because it's really like changed me completely this year. But I don't want, if I can help people avoid going through huge changes in their lives, if I can help people notice where their reins, so to say, are, and pick them up before something huge happens in their lives where they don't have any other choice but to pick up those reins, I think that would just be fantastic, to help people do that. Um, so yeah, that's why I'm so passionate about yoga, is because it's really empowered me as a woman. It's empowered me as a mother, as a friend, I believe, and it's really, really changed my outlook on life, and really created just like a breath of fresh air for me. And I want to share that with people. I want to teach people about mindfulness and how to be present, and how when we're present with ourselves, with our thought patterns, that's when we can choose a different way. When we're present with our bodies, or present in our bodies, and we can pick up on the patterns of where we're holding tension. I always point to my shoulders because it's a very common thing. Then when we're present with our bodies, then we can choose to, choose a different path, so to say. So, if anyone has questions, I know Trent and I always say, if you have questions, please leave them in the comments. I would love to answer your questions. I love random questions. Today, I put in the description, uh, you know, being discomfort leads to growth. And that's what I'm doing here on Savannah on the Spot, kind of trying to lead the way here and being uncomfortable, because something good usually comes from discomfort. Even if we can't see it in the moment, it's followed by growth, and it's a beautiful thing, really. So, if you're interested in learning more about your thought patterns, about your physical patterns in your body, even your emotional patterns, and how you relate to external things such as relationships with others, the relationship with yourself, and you're interested in picking up those reins and really changing the trajectory of how you want today to change, or how you want to show up today, and if you're really interested in how yoga and meditation and even breathing techniques can help you do these things, please get a hold of me. I'm love to tell you more about my story, going a little more in depth about it and how it's helped me. I'd love to share experiences of how my clients have grown, and their feedback of our yoga sessions and how it helps them. If you're curious, don't be afraid to reach out. So, anyway, this is Savannah on the Spot today. I will see you next week, and hopefully, I'm going to mix it up a little bit, get some different co hosts on, just change the dynamics because that's always fun. I hope you have a lovely morning again in Ohio. I don't know what is the deal with this year, but it's just so beautiful. The sun is shining. Enjoy it, people. Have a lovely day.